$200 from Flow, you can have everything you want.
More gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, win weekly prices up to 10,000 in cash. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a broadband plan.
We Christmas in with free groceries from Flow, plus a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmasing.
More gifts with Flow.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so time here in SVG, it is 8:45, and we are back with you with another commentary segment on today's Activated Mornings program. All right, so we are going to head directly into it. All right, so we are discussing matters of health at this time.
All right.
You want to go ahead? Or you want
no, I could go.
Yep. All right, so on St. Vincent Times. Oh.
No, not you.
Okay. Are you multitasking? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I will go ahead. It's fine. All right. So St. Vincent Times, yesterday, an article came out stating that there's now comprehensive 24-hour emergency healthcare services in SVG. So the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment would like to update the public on the availability of 24-hour emergency healthcare services across the public healthcare system here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These services are designated or designed to ensure that all Vincentians and visitors have access to medical care no matter the time of day, night, or location. So the ministry's 24-hour scheduled services include A&E, accident and emergency. So the accident and emergency units or department in all districts. And at the main hospital, they are available for emergency care for cardiovascular, for heart-related emergencies, cerebrovascular emergencies, those including strokes, accident victims, trauma cases, asthmatics, and other urgent medical conditions for 24 hours. All right, so A&E is open to deal and to assist with any emergency-related events or incidents. All right. The lab services would also be open. So there's going to be continuous availability of laboratory tests, including blood work and diagnostic tests to support timely medical intervention. And they are available 24 hours at the Milton Caton Memorial Hospital and the Modern Medical Diagnostic Center for inpatients and for emergency needs. All right. Also, the radiology services will be working around the clock for access to radiological imaging, including X-rays and ultrasounds, to assist with diagnosing medical conditions. And this service is also available at Milton Caton Memorial Hospital and the Modern Medical at Georgetown. Additionally, these services are available at the Lethi Latham Health Clinic in Mespo and the Bookament Polyclinic in Bookament Bay. All right, so that is just a bit of an update. And if you wish to read a bit more on that, you can go to St. Vincent Times and read the full article with regards to that. So I am happy to see this. Actually, when I got to this, I was supposed to ask a friend if the polyclinics are open 24 hours.
They're not, but it seems that this is what it's saying. Because as far as, it says the A&E services in all districts. Mm-hmm. So I am assuming that now they will be open for that, at least for that service for 24 hours.
I think that was the thing that I wasn't quite clear on. Mm-hmm. But if somebody is listening, especially if you have...
I know they won't open 24 hours.
If you have knowledge on this, just to confirm for us, the polyclinics in particular, we know the hospitals would be open, but the polyclinics in particular, if they are open 24 hours a day, all right? So if we'd be happy to be updated with regards to that.
Well, A&E was always open 24 hours.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. But
So
yeah.
I would be happy if the clinics,
Polyclinics.
because it would be a lot. It would be easier for some persons instead of having to travel particular distances when you have a polyclinic nearby.
And not just that too, because if you have like an immediate emergency, they could at least get that initial service or that initial attendance at the polyclinics, let's say before being transported to one of the hospitals, So if somebody doesn't call to update us, I would try to find out that information and update our listeners tomorrow. Okay. All right, so we are continuing on the topic of health, and I think it may have been last week. I came across an article. Well, it's an opinion piece. Always when you need to find something quickly. Let me see if this is it. No. All right. I actually had it here pulled up. All right, so
that's
the Searchlight.
Okay, so
story.
I got it.
All right.
I got it.
I got it. All right, so there's an opinion piece here by Dr. Grant. He writes into the Searchlight newspaper on a weekly basis, and this is Dr. Malcolm Grant, and he is just offering a few tips for the Christmas season, all right? So he's saying that your health or good health should not take a holiday just because it's the Christmas season, all right? I know many persons like to overindulge. There's an availability of food, etc., and availability of alcohol, etc. But we cannot be overindulgent, especially for those persons who know that they already have pre-existing medical conditions. All right. So he's saying, and this is an article that, as I mentioned, that came out on Searchlight newspaper, and it's dated December 10th. So you can go back and have a look at that article. All right. So he's saying that issues are persons who have issues that's heart-related, respiratory tract infections. Gluttony is also, it's a sin. It's supposed to be one of the deadly sins. So persons who know that they are pre-diabetic, diabetic, hypertensive, you have to be looking at what you are eating this Christmas. You can't say, oh, let me just indulge in this because it's just for a short time.
Let me just taste this, man. It's only once a year.
You are going to face the effects of this. Well, you might even face the effects of it immediately, because if you do too much, what could happen there. All right. So that the things that you're supposed to do, the steps that you're supposed to take, the things that you're supposed to avoid to do so. Right. He's also advising to control your alcohol intake. One of the things is that apart from over drinking, it can lead to accidents. He's also saying that domestic violence can also come into play because, if partner gets head a bit too nice and becomes aggressive, what can happen there, right? Also, controlling your alcohol can help to lead to minimize injuries, can also help to minimize risky sexual behavior, which is quite important, all right? Sometimes when you are also intoxicated, you're not thinking as clearly as you should be or you would like to be, and therefore you may find yourself in certain situations that can cause you to engage in risky sexual behavior that you would not necessarily do under a clear head, all right? And remember that risky sexual behavior can also lead to unwanted pregnancies, as well as the contraction of STDs and STIs, all right? He's also saying that you have to look out for food poisoning, because I know many persons may not want to be cooking during the season. You are going to be going to different places and you're going to be patronizing different people. Many events are coming up. Sometimes you wonder like how long in advance food was cooked and prepared, etc. So you have to also be on the lookout for food poisoning. And the food poisoning can also happen in your own home. Yeah. I was just going to say that. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say in your own home because, you cook food and put up some and have it. Yeah, if you have plenty leave over, you put up some to last for the entire week. And you never know. So you could.
Yeah, and this whole thing of people, people put up, there are some persons, if they cook, they heat up the whole pot rather than just take out the portion that they need and heat it up, they heat up the entire pot, let it cool and put it back.
Yeah, that's bad.
So that can also lead to food poison, and you have to monitor the temperature within your fridge. If you know that you are going to be having more things within the fridge, you're going to have to turn up the temperature.
And you need to leave space in your fridge, because I've seen people who would pack up it's not good to pack up your fridge because the fridge needs to have room for ventilation in order for things to be cold properly. So if your fridge is too stocked, you need to take out some of the things. Your items wouldn't get cold, and that could lead to things spoiling and so on. Hi, sorry, good morning, caller.
Good morning, my lovely lady.
Good morning, Dave.
Yes, I'm here still, it's amazing. It's amazing. And listen to all this repeat year after year. I don't know, maybe it's because I pay attention to these things. Not all the time. In my younger days, I would have enjoyed the extravagance of life. Meaning, now I look back at my age now and so on, I realize how to describe it. When you're young, maybe you feel strong.
Invincible.
Who's thinking like me there, man? Yeah, you're invincible. You feel nothing can go wrong with you. And all sorts of things take place, as you say. You are introduced to certain liquors. I remember a woman introducing me to what they call that liquor. She was so crazy about it, all because she had lived in England. And she came across something called, I think it's still there, Southern Comfort. Just the name at the time when I heard about it was appealing to me. A woman introducing you, young, sexy-looking woman introducing you to this drink called Southern Comfort. Any one of you had it before?
No. I've never even heard that. It's the first time hearing that name.
No, go in the supermarket and check it out. I know my
juice section. When I go to the supermarket, David has been the juice section.
Well, good for you. So nobody can miss nobody can. So you see somebody like, I have to give you the real lyrics for you to, take you off your feet and so on. Let's say, Roleza.
I alter that, Dave. And Dianna alter that too. So you're standing by yourself.
I'm standing by myself. Sometimes you have to just practice to catch whale, as the saying goes, them all times say really good, just practice to catch whale. And especially you see a pretty, like when it comes to relationships and so on, you try all different strokes to see how you can capture Roleza or
that's the right. That's Roleza. Anyway, Dave, I just went on Google and I found a picture of Southern Comfort. I've never seen it before, but I'm looking at an image on Google.
Well, you see all this time. I couldn't find that so easy like you. You see, so. And this is important because, look, you all don't know about that and that sort of thing. And who introduced me to it? How many years ago? Was it about 50 years ago? A woman.
A sexy woman. No, don't forget the adjective in front of it.
Thanks for telling me that. Yeah, but she used to be a girlfriend, and she went overseas, went to England and got exposed to all these different things and so on. So when she came back, she was happy to welcome, to introduce me to this and that, and we had a wonderful time. Just to add that bit, but in relation to what has been said so far, I said amazing that because when you grow up in a particular way, you're being educated. But some of us are being educated, but we don't take the talent, so to speak, put it in local. We don't take talent. So sometimes the education is like a waste of time. And we have lived to see that. I have lived to see that educated people or people who expect are educated They are the biggest culprits for a lot of negativity. I don't know if you'll agree with that, but then again, I think they're attracted to what goes on around them in their environment, and you hear people talk about the enabling environment in a more positive way. But what I'm saying here, if you live in a particular environment, what goes on there, and you get caught up in it, you'll become, you don't even know you will even know how to use your education. Or a lot of us have proven that we get caught up in some things that we shouldn't. And at the end of the day, when you have to pay the price and so on. So every Christmas, like you quote something from Dr. Malcolm Grant and so on. So maybe it's important to have these people around still to inform not people like me now with certain things, but of course I'm willing to learn anything new. And sometimes Roleza could teach me something that I don't know, or Dianna could teach me something that I don't know, while I try to share my experiences and whatever I have to offer. Right? So I hope that makes sense, having said all of that. And so you be mindful. Roleza, don't do what I don't want you to do. Dianna, same goes to you, right?
Yes,
Take care.
I hear you.
Bye, Dave. All right. So just to round up the article just a bit, because it is, to me, it's important information. And yes, Dave said that maybe year after year, these things are being said, but sometimes persons ignore, or sometimes persons, the message hits home a little bit more to persons, let's say based on other persons' experiences. They take account of their own actions. All right. So along with good health, we have to remember that not everybody is going to be experiencing a happy Christmas season. Many persons generally get depressed over the holidays, and many persons get depressed for different reasons. They may not be in the best of health. They may have lost a loved one. Different things might be happening in their lives that may not cause them to be in the best of spirits. All right. So I think from an individual standpoint, maybe what you can do is maybe find ways to distract yourself a little bit or engage in things that make you happy so that you can break out of that depressive mood. What I would also suggest is that family members and friends who know that somebody may be having a difficult time during this particular season of the year to reach out to that person, because sometimes living in your own head creates additional problems. Yeah. So if you are that source of support to somebody, reach out to them, invite them to places. It doesn't have to be, let's say, a party or a fete or whatever. It could just be, let's go by the beach and sit down and talk or eat food or something, Find little ways to engage other persons so that they do not feel alone this Christmas season.
And what I would like to add to that is, if you are the person, family or friend, and you're going to help this person who is sick, be the one to take the initiative. For example, don't say, Roleza, would you like to go to the beach? Because Roleza, we going beach to the man. Just put on your clothes and let's go beach.
I have a friend like that. As I always say, I am going to kidnap you. But when I use the word kidnap, of course, it's not a violent kidnapping. But I always tell him that I would just show up, or I would call and say, well, 15 minutes out, I'm coming by you, and we are going to do such and such. Because I know that at one point it was really a challenge for him, and I just think that he needed to get out. Now, imagine me telling people they need to get out, me who love to stay in the house, right? But it's because I recognize that this person is valuable to me, is important to me, and I also don't want for them to feel as if they're alone, right? So if you need to, quote unquote, kidnap your friends or your family members who may not be okay, go ahead and do so. And please note that I'm loosely using that word kidnap, okay?
And for those of you who may be in that mood for the Christmas, try not to let things bother you. Remember, you need water to survive. You need to have clothes on your back. You need shelter and basic food. You don't need extravagant food. You don't need a whole set of food. Those are your basic needs. Once you have those in check, you don't need to worry about all the other excessive stuff that is going to send you into a downward spiral. It does not need to do that. So just walk with what you have. Once you have water to drink, you're not going to die or dry out. You're not going to suffer from dehydration, and you have, at least, even if it's a bread and some sugar water, basic needs, food. That's all you need. Don't let the other things bother you, all right?
Or even if you recognize like somebody is in a particular situation, like let's say financially not so okay, and you know that you've cooked a big Christmas lunch, offer them a plate.
Yes.
You know, something simple as offering them a plate. So let people know that you remember them, that you appreciate them, and that you are here to support them. Okay?
Correct. And about the polyclinics, just to add, I asked the staff no. She said no, they're not. They're open 12 hours from 7 to 7.
Ah, okay. There we have our answer, folks. All right, so just to wrap this up a little bit, so other things to take note of during the Christmas season is that for children, you have to monitor them, especially when they're very young, in terms of the things that you allow them to play with, all right? Balloons, sweets, etc., they can become choking hazards. So be careful in terms of what you give to them. It could even be food, because children can also choke on food. All right, so be careful with them and monitor them. Electrical shocks, etc. Be careful as well. Don't try to overload a circuit, because then it can become a fire hazard. All right. So monitor that. You also have to monitor your gas. If you're buying a new gas cylinder, make sure that they check the gas cylinder before you take it home. There's a thing we pour in the soapy water, and if you see bubbles and something is wrong, so make sure that you do all those checks. All right. Turn off the gas. If you're one of those persons who are not using the stove, you feel to turn off the gas. Turn off the gas. You check your hose, etc. So just be mindful, be alert, and be aware, because we're all trying to have a good Christmas season in various ways. All right. So those are our tips for the Christmas season, so that we live to see many, many more. All right. Yeah. And the time here in SVG, you want to say something?
Oh, no, I was just saying, live to see the 2025.
All right, alive. All right. So the time here in SVG is 9:05. And we now bring to you today's ECCB currency exchange rates.